Joining us now to discuss where the election lawsuits stand is Hans von Spakovsky. He is a senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation. Thank you for joining us, sir. I wanted to ask you this. I'm not a lawyer like you are, but as I understand it, if you want to be in front of the Supreme Court, you have to have standing, you have to have a constitutional issue. What is there that might get any of these cases to the Supreme Court? What is missing?
Well, the strongest case the president has is his case out of Pennsylvania, because there his campaign is arguing that when the state Supreme Court extended the deadline for the receipt of absentee ballots to 3 days after Election Day, which was an extension overriding the state law deadline set by the legislature, that was a violation of the U.S. Constitution. And they've got a very strong position there because the U.S. Constitution gives state legislatures the authority to set the rules for federal elections, not the state government in particular. So that's probably their strongest case if they can convince the justices to actually take up the case.
And Hans, first of all, nice to see you again. What type of evidence is needed? And because we've seen what's played out with the court cases so far, is there a different level or a different bar of evidence when it comes to the state legislatures?
Well, there it's really there's not a factual question or a factual issue because everybody knows exactly what happened with the state Supreme Court extending the deadline. It's just a legal question. Did they violate the U.S. Constitution, and will the U.S. Supreme Court take up the case? The other cases that the campaign has where they are making allegations about fraud and other irregularities by election officials, they actually have to produce evidence of fraud, enough evidence to show that it compromised the outcome of the election. And so far, they haven't had a lot of luck getting that kind of evidence in and convincing judges that they're right.
You know, we had Lynn Wood on earlier, and I think he does have a case or has filed suit against the state of Georgia, in which the Secretary of State, who, by the way, is a Republican, made a deal with the Democrats there regarding how to verify a valid mail-in vote. But is there a constitutional issue as far as whether that may have been in lieu of going through the state legislature, which is supposed to be the source of any election law?
Well, again, if the Secretary of State basically changed or waived state law when it came to absentee ballots, then that is a problem. Because, again, the state legislature, they can set whatever rules they want, for example, with regard to absentee ballots and verification of signatures. But state officials can't just simply walk in and say, oh, I'm waiving that state law provision. If that's what happened, again, the campaign has a good case that what happened in Georgia violated the U.S. Constitution. But they got to convince judges to rule in their favor and do it quickly. And if they lose, they have to be able to appeal it on an emergency appeal and, again, get the U.S. Supreme Court to agree to take the case. And as you know, the Supreme Court makes its own decisions. They don't have to take any case if they don't want to.
And when do they have to actually even take up making that decision? Because you mentioned time is of the essence here.
Well, remember, December 12th is the deadline. That's when the December 14th is when the Electoral College will meet this year. So by that time, every state has got to have decided the outcome of their election and which set of electors, whether it's the Republican electors or the Democratic electors, will meet at the state capitol to cast their official votes. So that's the deadline that is fast approaching. And all the judges with these cases are well aware of that deadline.
Yeah. All right. Hans von Spakovsky, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your insight today.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Thanks for watching the Heritage Foundation's YouTube channel. With more than 500,000 members, we are the nation's largest conservative research and education institution. We believe the principles and ideas of the American founding are worth conserving and renewing. Please help us further our mission by subscribing to this channel and sharing our videos with your family and friends.